What is Google's army of robots really capable of doing? Can time be reversed? How about catapult rockets and a jet engine powered by plastic waste? All of this and much more in today's one edition of News from the World of High Tech. Google engineers have shared details about the army of robots being developed as part of the Everyday Robots project. The project's robots are designed to clean and help humans in any unstructured environment, be it an office or private apartment. But in the future, Google plans to create inexpensive robots that can be trained by anyone. The engineers humorously admit that despite the years of work, making mobile manipulators work quickly and efficiently in the unpredictable human world is still very, very difficult. And yet, the company has created more than 100 prototypes, which are now learning various tasks in the company's offices. The same robot that sorts garbage can now be equipped with a table wiping grip and use the other to pick up cups or open doors. But still, can even a giant like Google make the dream of useful home robots a reality? And that question, as of today, is still unanswered. Meanwhile, in California, the startup Machina Labs has announced the commercial launch of autonomous robotic facilities that will take orders to produce absolutely any industrial part. The first test of the effectiveness of such a production model has taken place thanks to contracts with the United States Air Force and NASA. Machina Labs robots focus on sheet metal and are completely versatile. They can be configured in shape and size depending on customer needs. We're reinventing manufacturing to keep up with changes in a highly competitive market. Now anyone with a great idea can produce parts quickly, efficiently, and economically, said Machina Labs co-founder and CEO Edward Mayer. Developers of the Air cab are trying their best to become part of the transportation system of different countries around the world, and France has decided to give one a chance. Volocopter, Airbus, Vertical Aerospace Group, Lilium, and Joby Aviation were invited by the French government to participate in the transportation of guests at the 2024 Olympics in Paris. The vertical takeoff and landing aircraft will shuttle between two airports as well as two other areas outside the French capital. First, though, the companies will have to show what their designs are capable of and undergo a selection process. The testing will focus on measuring aircraft noise and vibration levels, charging of traction batteries, and the integration into the existing flight safety system used by the French airspace. Interestingly, Renault of France also decided to create its own flying car, and it's quite unlike anything we've seen before. Teaming up with designers from the Arsenal, the engineers developed a huge drone that's an updated version of the iconic Renault 4 car mounted on a quadcopter. The Renault 4 was sold for 30 years, and a total of 8 million copies were made. Its flying copy is called the Air 4, and it's intended to symbolize its independence from traffic. The carbon fiber Air Mobile is equipped with a 100-volt lithium polymer battery with a capacity of 90 amp hours. The thrust of each propeller is 95 kilograms and the total payload is 380 kilograms. Speed in the horizontal flight is about 90 kilometers per hour at a 45-degree incline, and the maximum flight height is 700 meters. And while all of this is going on, delivery by drones continues to be developed here in the United States. Thus, recently, the Israeli startup Flytrex, which delivers packages to a distance of up to 1.5 kilometers in just 5 minutes, has received $40 million for development. Flytrex designs drones itself and develops software for their autonomous operation. The company is already operating successfully in one state. If the startup manages to negotiate with regulators and expand the delivery zone to 5 kilometers, its presence in the market will expand significantly. Flytrex drones are controlled by a proprietary platform and machine learning algorithm. The drones are capable of flying both independently and under the control of a remote operator. The delivery area is targeted for the suburbs. The drone with the order quickly reaches the address and drops the cargo in the backyard via a tether. The startup SpinLaunch, which is developing a kinetic system to launch objects into space without rockets, has conducted its first successful tests. The electrically powered suborbital accelerator is a giant-sized, disc-shaped vacuum chamber where the spacecraft and cargo spin up before flying out of the launch tube at more than 8,047 kilometers per hour. As part of the test, the installation launched a prototype spacecraft. It's a smaller replica of the future L-100 orbital mass accelerator system, which will be able to launch cargoes of up to 200 kilograms into space. The first commercial launches of SpinLaunch are scheduled by the end of 2024. It's expected that the development will make it possible to reduce the amount of fuel used by 4 times and the total cost of launches by 10 times compared to conventional rockets. At the same time, it will be possible to launch into space literally every day. What do you think of that, Elon? And the British company Pulsar Fusion recently tested a hybrid rocket engine. Pulsar's working green non-toxic hybrid rocket engine burns nitrous oxide, N2O, high-density polyethylene, HDPE fuel, and oxygen. HDPE can be obtained from recycled plastic, and the two fuels can then be burned together to form non-toxic plume. During the first test burn, supersonic shock breezers were formed, which can usually be seen in high-temperature, high-mass rocket exhaust. The company plans to conduct a demonstration for potential customers in the near future. Moving forward, engineers intend to create a waste-fueled fusion space engine for interstellar flight. NASA launched the DART mission into space, designed to study the possibility of protecting Earth from asteroid collisions. To do this, the refrigerator-sized spacecraft went into a system of 2 asteroids, Didymus and Dimorphos, only to crash into the smaller of the pair, the asteroid Dimorphos, and thus try to alter the trajectory. The ship is scheduled to meet the celestial body next year. The double asteroid redirect mission ship will collide with the asteroid at over 24,000 kilometers per hour and transfer its momentum into it. This should be enough to deflect the asteroid from its original path by a fraction of a percent. The asteroid targeted by DART poses no threat to Earth. NASA just wants to see if an early strike can change the asteroid's trajectory enough to allow it to safely fly past the planet rather than crash into it in the long run. The Parker Solar Probe, launched by NASA in 2018, completed its 10th approach to the Sun, setting 2 new records for maximum approach to the star and fastest man-made object in human history. The probe was able to reach speeds of 586,864 kilometers per hour, which means that the device would reach the Moon from Earth in 1 hour. The maximum approach distance to the Sun was 8.5 million kilometers. Interestingly, the greatest danger to the integrity of the vehicle is the low temperature of the star and the dust microparticles that destroy the hull because of the high speed of the probe. The collision velocities are such that the released energy vaporizes the particles and surface material in the form of plasma. What's the biggest prize you've ever won in a lottery? For fitness instructor Keisha from Antigua, the winning prize was a flight to the edge of space in a Virgin Galactic spaceplane. The lottery was in partnership with fundraising company Omaze and Space for Humanity, a non-profit that wants to ensure an inclusive future in space. The flight itself is scheduled to take place in July. According to Virgin Galactic, more than 100,000 people donated to the lottery, which raised a planned $1.7 million in 8 weeks after it began. The resulting proceeds will go to Space for Humanity's Citizen Astronaut Program. Physicists at the Massachusetts Institute of Technology have achieved for the first time in practice the effect predicted more than 30 years ago. Having cooled the gas to an ultra-low temperature and compressed it with a laser, scientists saw that it became translucent. It stopped reflecting and scattering some of the light falling into it. This way, you can bring matter to complete invisibility, according to the scientist. The effect is based on the Pauli prohibition principle, the law of quantum mechanics, which reflects the inability of some elementary particles to become indistinguishable from each other. Such particles are called fermions, such as the protons, neutrons, and electrons that make up atoms, as well as the atoms themselves of many substances. You can use this effect to turn any objects into invisible ones. It manifests itself at temperatures close to absolute zero, but now scientists begin to create materials that act as an invisible cloak in a certain physical environment, and, for example, prevent information loss in quantum computers. Another experiment by physicists, this time from Britain, Australia, and Spain, showed that time and quantum systems can evolve in 2 opposite directions, both forward and backward. Entropy, which can be quantitatively measured in a number of physical systems, was chosen as the measured quantity. Under natural conditions, entropy, which determines the degree of order in a system, can only increase, i.e., its movement is always directed towards the future. An experiment performed on a system limited by a few quantum elements showed that a system in a stable state not only increases its entropy, but also decreases it, or, as scientists conclude, moves backward in time. It's impossible to see such a phenomena in macrocosm. In it, entropy of events is too big and therefore irreversible. But at a subatomic level, backwards in time are quite registered. According to the American media, at the end of next year, Apple will launch its augmented reality headset project, which may replace the iPhone within 10 years. It's expected that the processing power of the main processor of the headset will be similar to the M1 chip, combining powerful features, performance, and efficiency. At the same time, the sensor systems of the device will be controlled by a lower-level processor. Analysts believe that the headset will also be equipped with a pair of 4K micro OLED displays from Sony to support virtual reality. The headset is likely able to run independently of a Mac or iPhone and will support a wide range of applications. Doctors at the London's Moorfields Eye Hospital made history when they fitted a patient with the world's first eye prosthesis printed entirely from a 3D printer. And why is that important? It's not such that the eye looks much more realistic than the traditional acrylic implants, but that the manufacturing process is reduced to 2 to 3 weeks instead of 2 to 3 months. It also means that this production method eliminates the unpleasant procedure of taking an impression of the eye cavity. Instead, a 3-dimensional scanning and modeling is performed. The digital model is then sent to a laboratory where the prosthesis is printed within a couple of hours and sent back for polishing and final fitting. Following Saudi Arabia, South Korea has also announced the creation of a floating city of the future. Construction of the Oceanic City will be supported by the UN and cost about $200 million. The city will supply itself with energy from solar panels on the roofs of houses, produce food and water, as well as provide internal logistics. In theory, it would be completely self-sufficient. Most likely, the city will be built near the South Korean port of Busan, but each hexagonal island, securely attached to the seabed, will be covered with limestone. Vegetables and fruits will be grown in aeroponic and aquaponic systems, completed by traditional outdoor farms and greenhouses. The construction will make the maximum use of locally produced materials, including fast-growing bamboo. All structures will have less than 7 stories to create a low center of gravity, which provides stability during high winds. Moscow has approved a list of streets available for unmanned vehicles. These are almost 200 streets where drone traffic is allowed in test mode without passengers or luggage, and about 20 streets where drone traffic with passengers is allowed. It's interesting that in order to speed up the introduction of drones on streets of the capital, a digital copy of Moscow will be created in the first half of 2022. The project will allow experiments on the model. To create the replica, 8 Hyundai Solaris cars with 6 synchronized 360-degree cameras will patrol the city. The system should build a full virtual copy of Moscow's road infrastructure with signs, traffic lights, crosswalks, stops, and everything else. Russian Post's SH-350 drone from Aeromax has successfully completed its first test flight on the Salakard-Askara route and back, which is more than 100 kilometers long. The drone successfully delivered the cargo mock-up in a little over a half hour and safely returned to the base. In the future, the drone will be able to deliver up to 100 kilograms of payload at distances of up to 150 kilometers. The cruising speed of the drone is 90 kilometers per hour, and it can fly in any weather, including snowfall, hail, and strong wind. Without cargo, the drone can stay in the air for 5 hours. In the future, Russian Post plans to introduce drone delivery by the end of 2024 on 10 difficult routes for ground equipment. Concern Kalashnikov patented its own version of a miniature electric vehicle based on the UV4 quadricycle, first shown at the Army 2018 forum. Unfortunately, the technical characteristics of the car in the style of the 1920s are still unknown. Whether and when the car went into production also remains a mystery. Perhaps the novelty, like the UV4 model itself, will be able to accelerate up to 80 kilometers per hour with a range of up to 150 kilometers. The interior of the car is expected to be designed with a minimalist style. Subscribe to the channel, like this video, and don't miss any new episodes from the world of high tech.